Hello, welcome to the Pigskin Pete YouTube channel. You are about to enter into the mind of a demented college football fan.
Right here now, it's all clear now. I finally found the face to face my fear now. It's crazy, I can't call it. I've been too deep, trying to make rip by the end of these 2 weeks. I'm sick with the beef, but if they call me out, I'm a cage. Believe it, anybody can get fighting for real. I got a meeting with the label tonight. I got a couple verses floating in my head, case they want me to flow. I got a feeling it was strange, it's like a reality show. Let's see if I can rap to save my life. Now all my gear looks right, and my beard looks tight. I'ma stare it in the face to see what fear looks like. I got my demo in my hand, a flutter in my heart. We coming out the dark now, the fun about to start.
Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Monday to everybody. Topic of discussion for today is fake news, man, especially in the sports world. I'm not going to talk about president and the fake news that goes on in all media for both sides of the aisle. I don't get into politics on this YouTube channel. But fake news is fake news, and it's spilled way over into the sports world. Now, I made video about Brad Crawford and his article about Clemson, I guess it was a couple of months ago, and this is just an extension of that. You know, I was picking on Brad Crawford because he misled people in that article. In my opinion, he misrepresented what Coach Swinney said. But this is not a Brad Crawford problem. This is a media problem altogether. So I was just riding in my car and listening to ESPNU, which I listened to that like all morning long during my commute and on my way home. And it's the show. What's the show that's on at this time? It's called The Playbook. I forget who the two guys are on there. But anyway, they were talking about. So I'm sure you've all seen over the weekend, or maybe it was the end of last week, the statements that Coach Swinney made. You know, there's a couple of coaches out there. Coach Saban, number one, and I'd say Coach Swinney, number two. Those are probably the two most polarizing guys in the college football world as far as what they will say and what they won't say, because they don't have a filter. And first of all, I find that refreshing for both of these guys. And there's maybe a couple other ones in that community. They just don't care what people think. They're going to tell you what they feel, and that's just all there is to it. Because there's nobody for them to answer to for it. And they can be honest. They're not going to lose their job, you know, as long as they don't say anything super outrageous. So I commend that. But there seems to be no accountability these days for what people will say in the media. They can just take what people say and twist it and turn it to fit whatever narrative, or to get ratings, or whatever the case may be, to sell newspapers or magazines or whatever, and nobody calls them out on it. Nobody does. And then it gets tweeted and retweeted and posted on Facebook, and it becomes the truth when they just misconstrue what people say. So in this particular case, Swinney was asked about how does he feel about the possibility of college football players being paid, right? And he said very honestly, and I wasn't surprised by this. I don't think anybody that's a Clemson fan that knows Swinney is surprised by this. Says that he doesn't want college football to become the NFL. And in his statement, he said he was trying to make a point, and this is what his point was. He said, well, if they're going to treat college sports like professional sports, then maybe I'll just go be a coach in the NFL. If I'm going to be coaching professional players, I may as well just be a professional coach. His point was there's a difference between college and professional sports. That was his point. And so that's pretty easy to understand, right? The point he's trying to make. Whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant. That's not the point here. The point is, do you understand what he was trying to say? Now, if you understand what he's trying to say, and you're not a complete and total moron, then what you would do is you would take it and twist it and print it and go on the radio, like I just heard these two idiots on the radio saying just now. This is how they opened up the show. Did you hear about Dabo Swinney's comments that he might leave college football and go coach the NFL? That's what they said. They're acting like this guy is talking about leaving to go coach in the NFL. No. He has no interest in coaching in the NFL. He's trying to make a point. You effing morons. And then they don't even go into the truth of what he said. They don't quote him. They don't. How about get your intern back there to pull up the 3-sentence quote that he said and read it on air? Instead of just saying, you hear he's leaving for the NFL? Yeah, he's tired of college football. That's what they said. These people are freaking morons. How do you get a job on ESPN radio and you can't even get that right? How does that work? How can a moron in his house, sitting in his kitchen right now, making a YouTube video that probably 500 people, if I'm lucky, will watch, can get it right and you can't? I need to calm down. I have a freaking heart attack over here. I just get so tired of it. I get so tired. And you know what? This is the reason that YouTube is so popular, and that people can't wrap their heads around why would anybody go watch Pigskin Pete or Sports Fury or Uncle Lou or the Volunteer Roadshow or any of these other sports YouTube channels that pale in comparison to the viewership that ESPN gets? Why would they choose this medium over that medium to get their sports news from? Why is YouTube getting so many millions of more views as a whole in the sports community than ESPN and Fox Sports are? This is why. This is why. Because the people hate fake news. They hate clickbait. They hate being misled just for some sort of a shock factor or controversy factor. They hate it. They despise it. So they're leaving TV and those big media platforms in droves and coming to watch people like me. Now, I don't know. I know I don't have any large presence on YouTube, but I guarantee you probably at least half the people that watch me and these other guys on YouTube in the sports world are tired of ESPN and tired of Fox Sports not doing their homework and just bold-faced lying about everything. I'm not even pissed about what they said about Swinney. This is just a symptom of the whole problem. It's just a symptom of the whole problem. They don't do their homework. They're lazy. They think they can just get on there and say whatever they want, and as if it's a fact. And half of them brain-dead people out there that listen to that crap believe it. Anyway, I got to go. I'm getting summoned. Yeah, anyway. Thank you. Pixie and Pete, checking out.